So if like, I mean, please subscribe, hit the bell, and hit the like button if you love Jesus Christ, and you know you do, because there's no other way. Part 2 of our multi-series about demons. There's a lot of information on demons. I know specifically because of actual incidences that have happened to me, and also to family members, and also to friends of mine. It's also mentioned in the Bible. There's a lot of information out there. Some of it is true, some is false. Demons, though, is a major issue. You can look it up on Wikipedia, you can look it up on different sites. That's also been in movies, it's been glorified, it's also been downplayed by the church. The church doesn't recognize it. They don't want to even mention demons. They rarely mention demons. And some of my favorite pastors, Charles Stanley, John Hagee, they really don't talk much about demons. Demons are an issue. Anytime that you sin, you open these doorways, and they're portals. Origins would go all the way back to the Garden of Eden and to the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life had an apple. Now we're going to get into theory a little bit, and of course that's my theory. The theory being that the apple was a metaphor for sex. When reptiles back then in the Garden of Eden walked on two legs, they had 2 arms, 2 legs. There was no curse placed on them. Goes to Eve and says, God just doesn't want you to eat of this apple and know the truth about pleasure or life. He basically deceived her.
Meanwhile, in the garden. Hey, baby, you looking good tonight. Why don't you take a bite of this apple? Oh, no! Oh, come on. It'll taste so good. Okay.
Of course, she didn't have to do that, because God said, don't eat of this tree, or don't eat of this apple, or don't do this thing. But I believe it wouldn't be an apple. I just believe it would have been sex, because sex is such a huge part of everyone. Everyone thinks of it as so powerful. It's only a part of love. But in today's world, it seems like, especially the men, make it the number one thing in a relationship, and it is not. It's only part of a relationship, but it's an important part that God made it, and He loves that you love it, but in the right context, in the right situation. When you're married, it's great. For God, by God, it's good for you, it's healthy. But that's in a marriage. Outside of marriage, no, that would be considered adultery, willful sin, and the worst kind of sin is willful sin. Satan tempted Eve with sex, and then she fell, and she probably slept with him. The offspring that would come from a union of reptilian entity, which Satan shapeshifted, came to her in a reptilian form. The offspring would be part reptilian and part human. So then that's why you would have all these different half breeds. Those children, it would be a reptilian line, and it only makes sense when you really look into it, because it says in the Bible we are born into sin. So that would prove that point. I wouldn't say it would be an apple, because I would say if it was an apple, it would be cursed. Once God curses something, that's a death wish. That's pretty much over. Now, he did say, because Satan made Eve fall, he made the snakes, to crawl on their bellies. They never slithered on the ground. They never crawled on the ground until God cursed them. But God puts a curse on something like that, that's it. That's the way it's going to be for the rest of existence. That's basically why you have the offspring that ended up being the giants, which has already been documented in Book of Enoch. It's mentioned in the Bible. That's why Satan made her fall sexually. That's why, as a species, we were born into sin. Our next video in this series will talk about deliverance.